Hey everybody, welcome back to the Show and Tell Show. It's me, Nahani. I'm back with Nicole Jackson over at Penetanguishene Centennial Museum, Jan Gadsden over at Penetanguishene Centennial, and of course Genevieve Carter from Huronia Museum.
Hi.
So this week we were looking at, because last week was International Women's Day, and we were looking at contributions of women into North Simcoe. You threw out the challenge, Penetanguishene, so you get to start.
Okay, so what we have today is actually a very recent acquisition that we were quite excited to get. So Nicole's going to tell you all about it.
So what we have here is actually, they're just some photographs of a woman that we just recently learned about. Here's a picture of her on her own. It's a little fuzzy. And then this one here is a copy of her and her husband.
Aww.
So, and her name was Marie, maiden name Longland, and she married name was Lizette. She was born on March 30th, 1889, and she died on October 23rd, 1966. And she was a midwife in the area here in Penetanguishene. Back in the early 1900s, up until the 1940s, it was very, very typical for people to have home births and just to have the local midwife come and to assist. And we just learned through another project that we were doing this year how she basically delivered hundreds and hundreds of babies here in Penetanguishene. And everyone kind of knew her as Mrs. Lizette. And she's sort of one of those unsung heroes that I'd never heard of before, but made such an impact on everybody around here because everybody remembers her. She saved a lot of young lives because she was so well taught in what she did. And with thinking about International Women's Day and how we're trying to honor the women and the healthcare workers and everybody that's doing all the work, she is someone that we don't want to ignore these kind of women in the past. And a lot of times with midwives, we didn't know their names and who they were. And the interesting thing is even her first name, when someone started doing some research, they had to call someone in the family to find out what her first name was because she was always just known as Mrs. Lizette. And so we were just happy to, find that her name was Marie. And for many years, she really helped give birth to so many people here in Penetanguishene. So that's
Awesome.
our story.
Well, that's a really cool story to know.
Yeah.
I like the smile on her face. It's very genuine.
Mm-hmm. She's so cute.
She is
the
cute.
one with her and her husband. She's just so cute.
Yeah.
And she looks so tiny. Look at her.
Yeah.
No. Genuinely happy.
Yeah.
We're told she was a very,
what do we have, Genevieve?
We have a series of photographs of just very ordinary women. This is Letitia Elizabeth Irwin Robb from Tiny Township. Annie Nay and her husband. Elizabeth Scarlett Reynolds and her husband. Marjorie Ball Dalton. She was from Tay Township. Frances Ball Lee and her children and husband, they're stooking oats. And unfortunately, we don't know the exact identities of these women. These are all farmers' wives, part of the Leonard family from Floss. Let's see, we've got Susan Dell Reynolds from Medonte, and lastly, Susan Rehill and her husband, Henry William Scarlett from Medonte. And these women, outside of their names, I don't know anything else about them except that they're very ordinary seemingly. Farmers' wives. And as farmers' wives out in the middle of, not quite the middle of nowhere, but anyway, they were responsible for the maintenance of the domestic sphere and the social fabric of their communities. And those were really important responsibilities, keeping the house clean. I was really amazed when I'd read diaries from the late 19th century, how many people would drop in on any given day to like neighbors, friends, relatives, the reverend and his wife, the trustees from the school. And you've got to keep your house tidy so that people don't talk. And you've got to have supper for them, or at least tea and cakes. And on top of all your other everyday responsibilities, like keeping the chickens and gathering eggs, making butter, possibly butter for your own family or just butter to sell at the store in town or to the tavern or restaurants. It's just a huge, huge responsibility for these women. They were responsible for fowl suppers and bazaars and box socials at their churches. They just really kept life together and helped enhance, I guess, the everyday life from all their communities, whether that was their church community or whether it was the sort of loose group of friends and neighbors on a concession road in any of the townships. So it's just, you know, these ladies aren't recognized, and they still represent really all of the women that still live in farming communities in North Simcoe. They still do the same thing, belongs to women's institutes. A lot of them have jobs outside the homes now, their home now, but they've still got all sorts of farming responsibilities as well. So thank you to them.
Yes.
Awesome.
Women's institutes really helped start a lot of local museums too.
Yes,
right? They did. And they're still responsible for heritage. I know the local Women's Institute has been putting up heritage signs along Highway 93 over the past 5 years, maybe. So yeah, they're wonderful.
Yeah.
It's nice to hear about the regular woman, isn't it? Like we tend to put celebrities on pedestals but we forget about, well, ourselves, our neighbors. Yeah. We're the last to put ourselves on a pedestal, yet we do a lot, right?
Sure. I don't keep my house clean though.
No, so. But I'm just saying, like we do have busy lives and we're responsible for a lot. And yeah.
Really
but I find that it's when my house is clean that no one comes around.
It's true.
Right?
Yeah.
They only show up when everything's everywhere.
Yeah. Or they phone and you're like for 5 minutes just running around like a crazy woman trying to hide everything.
That's right. It all goes in the bedrooms.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if you've noticed, but the snow is starting to go away and we're starting to get that feeling of spring. So I thought it'd be really cool if we found something seasonal for next week, something spring related.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think it would give us all a good feeling to know good weather's around the corner.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it has been the longest of winters. It hasn't even been a hard winter, but I think with, pandemic and restrictions, it's just been the longest of winters for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have any markers. You don't have anything to mark a month by or, anything to look forward to.
It's true.
Yeah.
No, because we can't get together with people or we shouldn't be getting together with people. So Family Day, Easter, it's completely different.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's it. Thanks for joining us, everybody. See you next week.
Okay. Bye.